Miles Life, man. How y'all doing today?
All right. Beautiful day. We're outside.
Man, loving this day, man. Loving this day.
Yeah, so we want to talk about Serena Williams.
Congratulations.
Yeah, she had her baby, and we're going to focus in on the qualities, the traits, the situations that create lasting love versus what create breakups.
And the reason why we're talking about Serena Williams is I saw her husband on the talk show, and this dude was so excited. He was so happy that, one, he was with her, two, that they're having a baby, and they got married, and all these things, that they're starting this new life together. And that's what you want. You want somebody that's going to be excited and that loves you and that cherishes you, for the person that you are, and not for just your image or what, people perceive they may be with you for.
He values her.
Yeah, it's important.
She's an Olympian. She's a world-class athlete. One of the greatest athletes that, have ever been. Especially in tennis.
Yeah.
So, you got to value what you have.
You have to.
And she's dated a lot of
notable
people.
A lot of, it's common. A few people. She dated Drake. She dated a few people.
Jamie Foxx.
She dated Jamie Foxx.
We're not going to go through her list.
No.
But just to say that, you got to be aware of why you're making that decision to say, hey, I want this to be my life partner.
This is the person,
Yeah. All right. So, one thing that, women gravitate to is those charming, those funny traits.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's alpha male stuff. It's like you're the life of the party. You come in, everybody can't wait to be there. When you there, they can't wait to see you or talk to you, and because you are the life of the party. So you kind of you have a commanding presence. You command attention and those kind of things. And a lot of times you'll command respect too. So women see that, and then they're like, well, man, I want to be with this type of man because I want my children to possess this type of gene or these type of things, these type of qualities.
And then, as a female, if you align yourself with the dominant male of the party, what does that make you?
The dominant female.
Right? So, your peacock chest.
Peacock chest. Now your chest out. Because hey, his chest out. He out talking, walking, speaking to everybody, all these things, so. But you got to have balance. You got to have balance, because certain things can also transpire that person possess negative qualities within that too. So
that overconfidence could be someone that's maybe not ready for commitment, that may be more focused on their own personal needs versus your interests.
They may be super insecure. Their funniness may be covering up a lot of pain. So it's balance.
It takes time. It takes time to get to know someone. So usually all those traits that you're seeing when you first meet someone, when you're in that honeymoon phase, they kind of dissipate over time, and then you get to see the real person.
Yeah, because that's your representative. You know what I'm saying? That was your best representative, baby. They coming in, they dressed up, they smell good. They're like, hey, what's up? Everything's about you. They love you. Hey, let's do this thing. And then of course once they get you, then they start taking you for granted, mistreating you, not calling, all these things. So it's balance. It's balance.
Yes. Okay. So why else would someone choose a life partner? Why else would Serena choose her partner? Resources.
Give me that dough. Give me that. Like, they want to make sure that their bills are going to be paid, that their children are going to be taken care of, that they're going to be able to get their hair and nails done and things like this. Not saying that they have to do those things, but they don't want to have to struggle. If they're struggling, then that means that, oh, man, that something went wrong in the resource end. Of course, if you really love that person, then you'll struggle together, and you'll pick each other up. That's the balance. So then that way you're building together.
And let's think of it from an evolutionary perspective, right? So women, what do we have every month? We have one egg, right? Maybe two, given. Now, what does a man have?
You supposed to have millions of sperm. Like, you know, we're making sperm. I'm probably making sperm now. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it is. The sperm part of it, men, we can go everywhere. We can go all over and soil our royal oats and things like that. You know, we could do those type of things, you know. So with men, a lot of men you see gravitate to younger, fertile females, you know. Mm-hmm. They're just attracted to the younger women, things like that, you know.
Right. So that animal side is wired in that men will go out and seek multiple women. Yeah. And women will gravitate to the man that has the resources that will support that one egg.
Because look at today's society. It tells us it's like anti-relationship, anti-marriage. It's telling you that you can have multiple women and do things as much as you want. You can also take multiple drugs and be fine. You could drink and drive. You could do all these things and be happy. But in reality, we know that these things are not going to make you happy in the end.
Yes. So let's take it back to it. Resources. It's important to gravitate to someone that can maintain themselves, that has goals, that has ideals for what they want to acquire and have. But there's that balance.
It's important that they also value your goals and what you want out of life. So that way, you can always strive for your goal, they strive for their goal, but you both are working and growing together, other than holding each other back from your goal, and I'm going to do mine, and then you wait on your, you know, so it's a balance, you know, so you have to make sure that you are working together and not against each other.
And then another reason why a lot of women choose a man. Now, this kind of ties into the resources. He saved me. He's saving me from my situation. He's saving me from all my bad relationships. He's saving me from leaving my home. Or, you know, I want to be with somebody, so I'm going to marry him so that I can be adults and physical.
And while they do that, sometimes their parents love that guy. They like the guy. Or he's a friend of the family, or he just seems like his representative seems so great at that time to where it's better than the situation that they're living in.
So while all these things are thoughtful, you know, you have to be mindful of all these things. In the long run, you have to look for more beta traits. Yeah. So what would that be? What would that look like? Someone you can communicate with, you know? Is this person actually listening to you? Do you feel like he understands you? Understands anything you tell him on a daily basis? This is very important for husband material, someone that's going to be lasting, that you can have a lasting married love with.
And men, let me tell you, because men are scared to talk about feelings. We don't like to talk about feelings. But I tell all my guys in the session, like, hey, the more you talk about your feelings, the less you have to talk about your feelings. You know, so if you let her know how you feel about certain things, then she knows you don't have to talk about that. And if she does come up with something that she asks you about, then express them to her. So that way, when you're watching a game or you doing whatever you're doing, she knows how you feel. And if she comes to you, you can express it, and you can go back to doing what you want to do. You know, the more we communicate, the less we have to communicate. Because we're on the same page. We understand each other. And that's what women want to be understood. So the more we can understand them, the more free time and things that we get. You know what I'm saying?
So ladies, if you can find someone where you can communicate, where you can talk about what you're feeling, what you need, what you want, and they understand you, and it's not like, oh, I'm going to go to my corner, you're going to go to your corner, maybe we'll come back in a few days and see each other. You can work through these problems and work through these challenges. That's someone you can build with.
Well, man, just know that if a woman does decide to bring you into her circle and decides to talk to you and express to you how she feels, then take note on that. Take note on that, because the first thing they say is, you're not listening to me, or you don't know how I feel. And if you're able to repeat back to her what she said and how she felt, then that means that you were listening to her. So then she'll let you fix it. Man, we're natural fixers. We want to fix it. Let's fix the problem so we can get back to just doing whatever we was doing. You know, get back to a happy place, so that way I don't have to stress or be worried. I don't want no drama. But the less you talk about things, the more drama it'll be, because the more things cycle around.
So it's very important to choose someone that you can actually talk to. That's it. Yeah. So what else would you say?
Listen, we haven't even talked about the whole thing that pulls you into that person is their look, their attraction. how you think that person looks, their body, all these things. They fine, they sexy. Oh, he's hot. Oh, she look good. Or she got a big this. Or she, you know. So that attraction will pull you in too, until you actually talk to that person. Till they open their mouth. You know, once you actually talk to them, then you know, like, oh, okay, maybe I should pump the brakes on this one. Or you kind of reading that person out. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to read her representative, basically, or read his representative.
So yeah, major things. You could talk to them. You know, all those traits as far as the physical, the personality is there. Okay, and then most importantly, ladies, you don't want to feel like you're someone's mother. This is very important. You don't want to feel like you're someone's mother, meaning you don't want to feel like you have to clean up behind them in the house, like this is an extended version of a teenager or a child that you're trying to raise.
Because that will only stress you out. Because if you already have 2 kids, you don't need a third. You don't. You don't need a third. And then, of course, the more you fuss at that person, the more the man's going to feel like you're trying to be a mother to them. And he's like, I already have a mother, and I don't want you yelling and stressing or fussing at me. Of course, when you do that, it just cycles around in arguments, frustration, and fights and things like that, you know.
So lastly, and most importantly, this is the big one.
Big one.
The big one. This man supports your goals.
He supports your goals. And in the same turn, you got to support his goals, too. So what does that mean? That means you're supporting each other.
Right.
That means you're supporting each other.
And ladies, when I mean support your goals, I mean, okay, you say, hey, you know what, I want to go back to school. And then he comes back, you don't need to go back to school. Why are you going back to school for?
I want to be smarter. I'm trying to build myself.
You can't even get through reading a book. How are you going to go back to school?
And see, and that's putting you down. That's creating a roadblock to your success. Well, anybody that puts roadblocks to your success is trying to hold you back. Right. And anybody that's holding you back don't have your best interest in mind. They don't want you to get to your higher self. You know what I'm saying? Your higher self.
Right. What they want to do is they want to keep you in a box.
Contain you so they can control you.
People that don't support your goals will try to keep you in a box. Meaning they're going to isolate you from your friends, from your family, from the people that love you. They're going to isolate you from your goals. And they're just going to put you down to keep you there and emotionally use those tools to keep you in that box.
It's kind of like having a toy and going back and playing with it when you want to. So you take the lid off when you want to, you play with it. Then if not, you keep them in the box, you know. And then if the toy gets out, then the toy's unruly. You see what I'm saying? So you got to make sure you keep that toy in that box. You know? But people, you know, we're not here to be put in a box.
Right.
People enslave us. There are all kind of things that people do to us to mentally keep us in a box, to physically keep us in a box. But we have to break those chains. And when you free somebody, then you free yourself, you free somebody else, and they free somebody else, and they free somebody else. But in your relationship, you want to make sure that you are that freeing person for your partner. That you're freeing them from any negative situation, any stress, anything like that. Then you're able to free them from that, to help them, at least to understand and work through it with them.
Right. So you have someone that you can openly talk to, and someone that really, really, truly supports your goals.
Think about it. In life, this is huge because you always need somebody that's going to be there for you.
Yes.
And if that person is there for you and loving on you, and then y'all are raising kids to be those same type people, then you're building a strong family. You know, you're building a strong family. Certain values and things that like, say, the Husband family, like, exhibited, you know, all the negative thing about Bill Cosby and things like that, but the actual family structure and what they exhibited gave power to people as far as how to function in relationships and how to deal with family living and things like this, things that you can aspire to be. Because that person should make you a better person.
So if you feel like this person is not wanting to be a better version of yourself, that's not your husband.
It's just, it is what it is.
That's not the man sent by God for you.
Eventually, it will come to a head. You know?
It will.
And you'll see that whether they're controlling you or they're doing this or they're doing that.
I mean, using all types of tools, the kids, to keep you controlled. Using finances to keep you in control.
There's two major ways. Those two, either one of those will keep you in a relationship. Either one of those.
Using religion to control you. Using hostility and anger to control you. You know, if someone's always angry and coming at you in that way, what are you going to do to calm the situation down? Give in, appease them. But that makes you a victim. That takes your voice away. That keeps you in that box.
And see, the way you come out of the box is you get your voice back. You know, you work toward getting your voice back. And of course, the person that's putting you in that box, if they really love you and truly love you, then they will also begin to say, you know what? I've been holding this person back. I gotta let them be the person that they're gonna be, so I can be the person I want to be. Because maybe it's insecurities, maybe it could be anything why they put you in that box, because they're going through things. Because remember, you know, people that's hurting, they always hurt others.
People hurt others.
So if they're doing something that's stressed, or if they feel stressed, then they may stress somebody else out. If they feel like they're trapped and put in a box, then they may put somebody else in the box. You know, so it kind of feeds off each other. So when you're able to free yourself from that, then you want your partner to be free too.
Right. So we hit a lot of points today. You know, we kind of hit some of the points that people initially gravitate to when they first meet someone. They're funny. They're charming. They're attractive. Everyone in my circle likes them. You know, they're rescuing me out of a bad place, you know. But ultimately, you need someone you can communicate with, someone who supports your goals, and someone you don't feel like you have to take care of like an extended child.
That's it. That'll stress you. So stay away from stress, man. Try to be as good and as possible as you can be. As far as, when I say possible, that means that everything is possible. I can handle anything. I can deal with anything. All my blessings, all these things are coming to me, and it's all good. It's all good. So when you get out of that box, then you help that person realize why you had to come out of that box. Because there's something that they need to work through too. That's why communication is so important.
All right. So, thank you. We're going to sign off.
God bless you. Mine's life.
Bye.